Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, I am Michelle Stone.
I'm Jenna Rose.
And we are with the Underground Music Collective. We are back for another segment of Fun and Games. We are playing Celebrity today. If you've been tuning into our show, you know that we already played Celebrity once. It was a hit. We loved it and wanted to do it again. We are joined by Sara Spicer.
Hello.
So happy to play it with her. Sarah, you want to introduce yourself and your guitarist?
Yes, so my name's Sara Spicer, and this is my boyfriend Chris Lee, and he's going to be playing guitar for me today.
Yeah. Sarah kind of came on my radar through Liv, actually, is how we met.
No.
Yeah, Liv is someone that we both know. Shout out Liv. Love
Shout out
you.
Liv.
She's
Love you.
amazing. does great work. She photographed Sarah, and I saw her pictures and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks good. Checked out your music. I was like, she's incredible. And then we met at Bowie's.
Yes.
And we went in the car and had a little smoke session.
We had a little fun, a little good time.
And then I was like, dude, I freaking have to have you on. And yeah, and so here it is. So yeah, we're excited. Let's get settled in. We have dips, we have water.
We're ready.
We're going to let Sarah go first. So if you guys aren't familiar with Celebrity, what we do is we pick out a name. Sarah's going to try to give us hints, based on the celebrity so we can try to see if we can guess it. We did get celebrities that you guys will know, so we're not going to have like random ones that nobody knows. So yeah, let's get started, Sarah. You pick out a name and
All right.
try to get us to guess.
I'm going to do my best. I feel like I wasn't good at these games. Okay. I'm nervous. All right. Don't look. Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
All right. Okay. He has a lightning bolt on his forehead.
Harry Potter.
But who plays him?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Boom. that was an easy one. I was like, I could just say
That's
Harry
a good
Potter,
one.
but I feel like that would have been cheating.
God,
so.
can you imagine his whole life being called Harry Potter?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that's your-
Yeah, it really is his whole life.
Like his whole life.
Because he started, how old was he, like 7 or something
Seven.
like
Dude,
that?
so-
Like,
and
in
Hold
the-
your roll there, mister. Yeah. We're going to ask a question before you play your turn.
You
too.
wait.
Yeah, we're gonna do what we're actually here to do, which is also interview. Like, sometimes playing the games, we get lost because we're like we were playing charades last thing. We were like, oh yeah, we're interviewing.
Oh yeah, right.
We're not just sitting here playing. Okay, so Sarah, you want to tell everyone like about your music, what you do, like just kind of give everyone a general idea about Sarah.
Yeah, just a rundown. So I actually started doing music when I was probably 4. I started singing because my dad's a musician as well. So and
Dad
I didn't even
musician,
get to tell you any of that. So.
No, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
First time
So
hearing it, too.
first time, but. So my dad's a musician as well, and his wife at the time, they're split up now, but when I was younger, it was my dad and his wife had a band together. So they would bring me up on stage with them all the time.
What was the name of the band?
Oh,
It was
that's
called the
awesome.
Dream Catchers.
Ooh.
The
Oh, that's a
Dreamcatchers.
ballin' name.
Yeah, I was like,
sounds like hippy dippy. I'm digging it.
Oh yeah, they so were. But so they started bringing me up on stage at a really young age, which definitely helped. I mean, and I used to be like one of these singers, like just would not move.
Well,
so
'cause you were
scared.
a tiny child. Yeah.
Fair
that's how
enough,
kids
fair
do
enow.
it.
But it took me a while, like too
To
long. I
loosen
feel
up.
like to loosen up. Yeah. But so I started then, and then I was in a band. I think 15. I started my first band. It was like my dad's friends, So by the time I was
Wow.
like 18, I was like, Dad, I think I'm gonna have to get a band my age. And he was like, Yeah, I think it's time. And then around probably 22, I moved to Nashville. And right when I moved to Nashville, I actually was tied in with a newer record label called 12-6.
Wow.
And then they're here in Nashville. And then I actually went on tour with a group called the Highway Women. And we were in Texas on tour for about 4 months. And that's when
Wow.
after that, I came back here and really focused on like my career. I released my first single, which was called Jump, and that's out on Spotify. But it's been 3 years. 3 years since I released music.
Wow, because I know
And-
I heard something in the car that you showed me, which we'll touch on a little bit
Yes.
later, but it's one that you haven't released that yet.
I haven't released, no.
That's flame.
And
She played it in the car right at the right spot, like pulled the hole because we're listening to the Spotify playlist. She's like, well, I do have a new song. And I'm like, well, I mean, of course we want to hear this. And we play it and literally it was just like, oh my God, this is like good. Like this is good,
thank
good.
you. So that's like what I'm really excited for because it's been so long and it's changed drastically. My sound and just my writing style and everything. So I'm really, really happy to finally get new music out. So
What would you
that's where
say
I
you
am now.
started at writing style versus where you're at now?
I mean, I just feel like I was definitely writing probably more like classic kind of country stuff, and then now it's progressed to like a more pop based.
That's how I would say it kind of.
kinda
I don't
sound,
like
yeah.
genres or boxes, but I
I'm
would
the same
say
way,
it's like
yeah.
poppy-ish, and I like it.
It definitely has like like pop influence, country influence, rock influence, and even like some rap influence too. And I feel like that really is what I grew up on. Like
so
my dad
good.
always did country, but I really didn't listen to country that much. I'm from Philly. And
You're from Philly?
Yeah.
Shout
So I listen
out.
to a lot of
Fresh
rap.
Prince, baby.
Hey,
Born in
in
Philadelphia,
West-
raised
born
and
and
raised.
raised on the planet.
Yeah.
She knows.
That's great. And I would want to mention me and Sarah are wearing both red shoes. You want to show them your shoes? Where'd you get your shoes?
Plato's Closet.
Plano. Oh my
Plato's Closet, like $10.
Just fab. Just
Yes.
fab. This actually, I think this pair was $10 too, because you can get a membership or whatever on
$10
there.
red shoe gang.
I know.
We're
$10
both
shoe.
wearing brown shoes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
And boots at
are
that.
those, are
There you
those
go.
cowgirl boots too? No, they're
No,
not
they're not,
technical, but oh my, what are those, like snakeskin?
These,
They are
yeah.
snakeskin?
Yeah, Diamondback
I
Rabbit.
got you.
R.I.P. R.I.P. snakeskin.
R.I.P. Snake.
That's so funny. Okay, so now it's your turn. You were eager to go through the
Okay.
bag. I'm eager to see
Okay.
who you're going to choose.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Sure.
go.
Yeah.
All right, I won't look.
I don't know. It's interesting to see how people describe stuff too.
I know.
Like the angles they go to try to get you to get the clues.
I know. I was like, where am I going with this?
Like when I did, I said the
I
William
don't even
Shakespeare
know.
one, and Jenna was like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, that's a good guess.
All right. The only way I would know to describe her, she has the same name of a very popular romance destination.
Same
Very-
name as a popular, like a romantic.
Like a romantic.
Is she a singer, an
European.
actor, and
There you go.
Oh,
Was it?
Paris
okay.
Hilton.
oh,
Paris. Okay.
I never would have guessed that.
I would have taken forever.
It's a
to
popular
guess that. Good
destination.
job.
It's like a romance.
Oh my gosh! So
destination.
I
It
worked
is.
at the Hilton. Actually, I was a bartender there, and I worked there. And they want something they brief you on. Personally, for I love you. I love what you're doing for women, but you probably won't watch this. But when you're in Hilton, they do like a welcoming thing, and they make sure they're like, we do want to let you know, Paris Hilton has nothing to do with this hotel. Her father does not want her to have anything to do with this hotel. So,
Wow.
because people, that's the first thing they ask. They're like, so like this is the one that Paris Hilton owns. So like. Her dad owns it. She doesn't, and like they make it clear. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are like,
You're like,
low key
geez.
hating. I'm like,
Right on your
I'm
own.
like, isn't she like the daughter of the owner though? Like, and they're like, no, it doesn't matter. She doesn't have any
She has
say.
no. Don't
I'm
mention
like,
her name
okay.
here.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Off
like,
limits.
like that's a little aggressive.
Yeah, a little much, but
Mm.
to each their own, right?
So you've been without 3 years working on your music again. How did you two? Because you're dating, obviously, which we can talk about that. We don't really care about that. I mean, that is cool.
Yeah,
But
no, it's
how did you guys get to doing music together?
So we actually met probably around the time when I moved here, which is almost 4 years ago. I met him downtown. I think I was just on a shift with him, actually. He
Classic
needed
downtown.
someone to fill in for him.
No.
Yep.
Ah.
And we were friends for probably like a year, I feel like, before we actually started dating. Like we were
Really?
just strictly friends and
Playing music together.
yeah, just played music together, and then I was like, ooh, I think I like you.
Isn't that the best though?
Yeah,
when you
it
and
is.
someone grows on you something you didn't think would happen,
Yeah.
and then like after a while you're like, actually I kind of like you. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's so authentic instead of the whole like it's on fire right when we meet and we're gonna burn out eventually because it's been
Exactly.
too good and too hot.
And like I feel like, I mean, I definitely thought he was like attractive when I first met him, you know,
Yeah.
but I just didn't like. You
That's
don't
not
think
enough.
It's gonna go
That's
that
not
way.
enough. Attraction is not enough.
Yeah, and then obviously I got to know him, and his like personality is awesome, but not to like, you know, toot my horn, but I knew he had a little crush on me, so it made it easier. It made it
Ah.
easier. Some friends told me off the bat. They were like, "Ooh, Chris thinks of that," and I was like, "Ooh, okay."
And I feel like that's so like, and the older you get to, I feel like that's something you start to realize is you're like looks are like. It's like just a bonus at
It
this
is.
point because like you like really like there's so many beautiful people in the world, but only a few of them you're going to connect with.
Yeah.
And it's so important to realize that.
It really
and then you
is.
start to, I feel like after you get over that gap, then it makes your relationships with people more authentic
100%.
because you push past like, oh, I'm a horn dog and I'm all about who's
It's-
hot and the hottest person, da, da, da,
Right.
and you're like, you know what,
There's
none of that
so
even
many
matters.
good-looking people.
There's so many
There's
good looking
so
women.
many,
that's not
especially in
enough.
Nashville.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
everyone you see is good
Yeah.
looking.
But
I-
that's
like
it's not enough. Like
it's
you
not
said.
enough.
It's just
yeah.
not.
And talent isn't either. Sometimes I've met super
You're right.
gorgeous men and women who were incredibly talented, still wasn't enough. There
no,
still just
you're
wasn't the
right,
vibe.
because if there's no character and there's no personality, people, it's hard to connect when it's like that. You know, you have to kind of be vulnerable in a sense, you know, to get
Yeah.
people to realize, like, you know, I'm also, because I feel like a lot of the celebrities, you know, people don't realize they're literally just like us, you know,
They're
aside
people.
from being,
Yeah, like you see the
rich, but,
tabloids
like,
are like, da 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 was caught grocery shopping. I'm like,
they're like,
Yeah.
Dude, this is
Weird.
news. It's like, this is news. Like, people grocery shop. Like, this person was caught wearing shoes that a normal person would wear. It's like, what?
You're like, do they have to spend $1,200 on a pair of shoes?
I
Like,
know, and I feel like that builds a celebrity culture. I actually wrote an article about this, themichellestone.com, under published writing. It's one of my articles about celebrity culture, and it's about the crazy obsession, how we've gotten into a way where we don't normalize celebrities. We've held them to, like, a higher standard. You know, I have this saying where I'm like, we went from worshiping demigods to Demi Lovato. And it's like a saying, because it's like people like put them on such, and it's like you are destroying these people. That's why they have like drug addictions.
Yeah.
They break down because you're putting them on such a high pedestal, and they're like, dude, I'm just a person.
they feel so much pressure. We
Yeah.
put so much pressure on them, and it's really not
like
fair.
you see the what do they call them, TMZ, or the what do you call paparazzi?
Paparazzi, yeah.
The way they follow these people around,
It's
dude,
crazy.
like especially when they're going through breakdowns. Like that time Britney Spears was
That
going,
breaks
they were
my
just
heart.
surrounding her. Imagine going through the worst breakdown of your life, and it's all documented.
It's
and every
actually
time you walk
evil.
out your house, people are just. I think it should be illegal.
I really
Because
do.
they
there
stalk
should
them.
definitely
There should be a limit.
protections.
Like
Yeah,
there is no
absolutely.
reason for that.
Absolutely.
No,
There's
'cause
no
they
reason.
get
Well, and that's
right
what's so
at
special
them.
about Nashville is that. So I heard that TMZ tried to open a station here. Like they tried to
they
open
won't
a
let
shop,
them.
and Nashville was like, no.
Good for them.
Yeah.
We don't want
yeah.
that stuff.
Because like the
No.
businesses, in Hollywood, in LA, the businesses are like, yes, TMZ, come to us because that shows that like famous people are frequenting our place, and that makes us, brings us more business or
like a
whatever
shallow
from
way of
from
seeing it.
tourists and
Exactly,
things.
yeah.
But in Nashville, the businesses are like, get the fuck out
Good
of
for
here.
them.
Like
Yeah.
they
That's
want to
bullshit.
protect the culture here, which is that this is a safe hub for everyone, where
really is.
we're focused on craft.
And
Yeah.
the music, we're not focused on like the
Exactly.
clout of being like, oh, I blah 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 was here, and that's another thing. Being in that position, people use you, so it's like that's why these people don't come out ever, because somebody comes and like, oh my god, blah 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 is here, and it's like it's free publicity for them. They're using
Right.
it, they're
Exactly.
leeching off
Yep.
of them.
Exactly.
And here it's like we're like, dude, we don't want to do that because we believe everyone is equal, and no
Yeah.
one's better than anyone here.
Well, and that's
Well, they
what,
don't need to do it either because it's such a destination on its own.
On its own.
On its
they don't really
own,
need to
without
bring in
that.
that celebrity,
Right.
which is
No.
it's so nice to not have them, all these businesses or just the infrastructure really of the city, like just not supporting that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like when I remember when even when I was just visiting Nashville, even before I moved here, it was just a known thing, and I feel like it is like for Nashville, it's a known thing. Like you don't bother famous people when they're out.
Right.
No,
Right.
I
You
mean,
don't
yeah,
go
they
up-
come to bars all the time. Like when I was
Yeah.
bartending at Kid Rock's, Kid Rock comes there literally like every
All the
single
time,
weekend.
yeah.
And you get to the groove where you're like, everyone around here is someone. Even people you're seeing, like they might not be someone that you know or heard of, but I guarantee you they're the ones behind the scenes that are writing the songs.
The writers,
They're
the
doing it.
producers,
I mean,
whatever.
There's
yeah.
so many too that I feel like Sia was one of them who she was like, and Julia Michaels is one that I like talk about. She was one that was
Love
writing
her.
songs, huge hits, and eventually she was like, hey, I want to make my own music. But before she did that, Julia Michaels would have been someone that you would have seen and you'd be
And
like,
not
oh,
even know who
no,
she
but,
was.
And she was like,
But she's a number
but
one
she's,
hit
she's a
songwriter.
number one hit, and like so
One of
that's
my
something in
favorites.
Nashville you get used to. You're like, you don't know who that is. Like that could be
Right.
someone. It might not be someone you're seeing on the tabloids, but
it's
that could
someone,
be someone
yeah.
that knows someone, because most of the important people aren't the people you're seeing
Yeah.
on tabloids. The people that are running it, that are behind the scenes, that are running the labels and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's also it's an element that also keeps people in check too, because
Oh, yeah.
it's nice that everyone stays humble, because
Mm-hmm.
you guaranteed there's a better guitar player in this room than you. Like
Yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
not you, but like
Yeah.
No, in general.
Right.
of
the
course.
royal you. Like
I always
yeah.
say they're in anything. There's always someone that's going to be better than you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always there. And
And
someone's gonna be
in
prettier,
Nashville,
cooler.
they're probably in the room.
Right.
And also, it's like everyone has different perspectives. You know, I could think you're
It's
the
all
best, and then
opinionated.
someone could be like,
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
no, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so it's Jenna's turn for the celebrity. We got caught up. See what we do? We like forget that we're playing games, or that we're even in an interview. Like we were interviewing some of our friends, Dustin and them, and we were like, oh yeah, we're on camera right
We're like
now.
in a friend conversation, but I love that.
I know, right? Makes it authentic.
It does.
Okay, so he is the very famous president with a dress incident.
Bill Clinton. I did not have relations with that woman.
woman,
I did not have relations with that woman. Oh gosh. Okay, so so we kind of went over your music a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Sarah. You grew up doing music. You grew up doing that. How did you really push yourself into the music scene here, coming from Philadelphia and like starting? Because you've made a way for yourself. I mean, you just posted something where you worked with a bunch of women.
Oh, yeah,
I kinda-
that was
if you wanna talk
cool.
about
Yeah,
that.
I'll definitely brush on that. But really, honestly, I feel like the main part was that I did just have such a great, like, support system. And I also, I feel like my town's pretty small. So I feel like I had really made a name for myself there and did really all I could do.
You outgrew it. Like
really,
a goldfish.
And I feel like that happens with a lot of us, you know? It's such a small town, and I really did everything I could in that area and even the surrounding states. And it was just, there just wasn't anything else there for me to help progress my career.
It's important you realize that, though.
And,
You're like, I got to get out of here.
And, well, my dad definitely preached. He's definitely a huge part of it. My dad preached my whole life, you need to get to Nashville someday. You know, like, you just need to be there because, you know, and obviously, I feel like as time goes on, you don't necessarily need to be here, but it definitely helps so much.
Well, the experience of being here, meeting all the people you're going to meet,
so
creating the
people.
connections, like having the whole experience, whether or not you stay here forever, like it's
important to be here at some point.
Yeah.
Just to make those connections, to meet new musicians. I mean, songwriters. I would not be here. I mean, obviously physically I wouldn't be here, but even in my career, I feel like if I hadn't moved here, I would not have progressed as much as I have.
To bounce on that, would you say coming here, because you said your writing style has changed a lot in the past 2 years, would you say coming to Nashville has kind of, because you came here probably with the intention to be a country singer, and you came here and you're like, actually, I don't think country is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Is that what kind of happened?
100%, especially, I feel like, so I actually left my label, under, like, great terms. I'm still best friends with the owner. But I remember calling her and just being like, this isn't me. Like, what the label, you know, wanted me to dress or the style they wanted me to do. I was like, this just isn't me. I feel like I don't have enough, like,
so important you made that choice.
And
because some people don't.
And you know what? She totally agreed with me, backed me, and still supports me to this day. She was like, you know what? She's like, I really agree with you. She's like, I just feel like you have so much more to offer, and you're not really able to do that here. You know?
Well, it's important you said that, because, like, so many artists, I feel like they'll just be like, okay, I'll be who you want me to be. So they can just have the opportunity of being that, and then you get lost and you start making this music where you're like there are so many artists that come out and they're like, all that music, that wasn't me. Like MGK is a big example of that. He was rapping and rapping and rapping. I don't know if you guys are a fan. I'm a fan of his new music and stuff too.
Yeah.
And he came out with rock, and they're like, so why'd you go? People were making fun, like, he went from rap to rock. He's trying to be relevant. Like, he did an interview where he was like, I did not want to make rap music, but no one would listen to me, so I had to make rap music to get into the industry. And then when he finally got his foothold, he started doing the music he wanted to. And I feel like a lot of artists do that, and they end up regretting a lot of stuff they did because they're like, that just wasn't me.
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's
forcing
like,
it.
I feel like for a long time I, like, regretted, like, some of my old stuff. Not even, like, the stuff that I did here, but, like, when I was younger, because I look back and I'm like, ugh. But I'm like, you know what, I can't regret it because all of that, like, seriously has built me and made me who I am today, because everyone starts somewhere. No one's first songs when they were writing as a child are good necessarily, you know, or what they want in the end. No. And I feel like, honestly, my music is just going to continue to change, to
evolve.
Over time.
You're going to continue to be a
Constantly.
different person.
But that's what's fun about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really cool journey to have, you know, as a musician, also as, like, a follower of somebody. It's so nice to be able to watch an evolution of an artist.
It truly is.
Well, I don't like when things are stagnant, because then I do start to, like, get bored. Like, that was a big problem with, doing what I didn't want to do. It became very unmotivating, and my work ethic really wasn't up to par. Right. Because I just didn't.
You weren't enjoying it.
I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah. If you love what you do, it's not work. You know, I tell them, like, if you love what you do, it's not work. You're not working.
And it was becoming not fun to me, and it was just not what I wanted to do. Yeah. And she was so supportive, and still is, and, you know, I have a great Yes, Heidi Hamels is actually her name. I love her to death. She owns 12-6. It's a great label. And they're doing really, really good. They have some amazing writers and artists there.
Really?
And it was such a great opportunity. I'm so grateful for it. Because it really did shape me, and it helped me learn, actually, where I wanted to be with my music, you know. And it gave me such a great platform.
Sometimes find the road that you definitely don't want to be on in order to be able to recognize
and
when
I
you
would
do.
never even say, like, there's still very much country influence in my songs, and I still do sing country music, you know, and I always will. But just what I'm creating now, when I'm writing and producing, it's just so much more fun to do something totally different than what I've done my entire life. Like, there's so many more sounds that I can incorporate in, like, the pop or rock realm that, you know, people may be like, well, this isn't country, you know, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, but that, like you said, you don't like genres or boxes. Like, so that's kind of where I'm at. When people ask, what's my genre? If they really need to know, I'm like, well, it's an influence of this, this, and that. But really, I don't like to put myself in a box because, I mean, shit, I might do a rock song soon.
Yeah.
Just because all of these different things I've grown up with, and I genuinely enjoy doing all of them.
Yeah.
So
having a heavy country influence is probably a really good thing for like career wise, because you can fit into all the country like festivals
100%.
or like you can slide right in there
Exactly.
Yeah.
and take all those opportunities. But then people will still be they'll be more open to
Exactly.
hearing
You're so
what else
right.
you have
Yeah.
to do.
'Cause it's
And then
like-
you can also you can basically
you could
just
do a
go
pop
everywhere.
thing too,
do
or you
what
could
you
do a rock
want.
thing as well. And it's like, really, most of my songs would probably fit in all of those in a different way, you know? So it's really cool.
I love seeing, because I'm born and raised here. I don't know if I've told you that, because we've kind of
No,
talked a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm born and
yeah.
raised here. And seeing the evolution of music come here, like, because it's a country, like, people always, like, I tell people, I'm like, go to Texas if you think this is country. Texas is country.
Right, yeah.
But coming here and seeing the music scene and how it's evolved just in the past year of being, you know, with Jenna and stuff, and, like, being able to see how we're taking Nashville from, it's not just country, it's so much more.
It is.
And creators here, because I feel like, too, being a creator coming from another place, it's almost like you feel obligated. You're like,
To do
well,
country,
Nashville is country music, and, like, when people are like, it's country music city, I'm like, no. It's Music City. It's not Country Music City. And there's even
100%.
pages located on Instagram. One that just followed me. It's everything but country music. That's their like thing.
Okay.
And it's to showcase. It's not because you're hating on country. It's just the
No.
fact that you're like,
There's more.
there's so
more to
much
this
more.
town.
And also, we
Right.
don't want to put our musicians in a box. And they come here and they're like, well, I guess I have to play country
I
music.
can
'cause
only
that's
do
the-
country.
I
It's
can
like,
only do
no,
country.
just create what you want to
Create
create.
what you create, because I'm a big believer that if you create what you create, kind of like you said, where you're like, I was in Philadelphia and I did what I was doing, you create the precedent for what other people do. So if you're
Right.
like, you know what, I'm not going to do country music, I'm going to do this. Well, guess what? There's probably so many other people that want to do that with you, and all you have to do is take that first step and do it, and then everyone's like,
It gives them permission.
yeah, it
Right,
gives them
they're like,
permission to
oh,
be
I
themselves.
can do this too, and it's
You're
fun.
like, yeah, this is
Like,
life. We're on this
yes.
spinning ball in the middle of outer space.
yeah,
like, we're
I'm
just
like,
doing
shit,
it, dude.
let's just
We're
create.
just doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go in. So let's see. Okay.
I'm not looking.
I don't know how to describe that one. I'm gonna,
Next.
I mean, I know how, but I don't know how.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
Oh my god, I don't know who this is either. I thought these were ones that I print out that I knew. Okay. Sure. He's a voice like this, and he talks like this. I'm
Was it? Wait.
go ahead.
Sean O'Connell.
Sean. Yes. Sean. I'm Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then the glow thing.
The
The girl project.
yes. So she just
All right.
posted. I kind of saw a little bit about it. So tell everyone what that is.
Yeah, so I just we just wrapped up shooting a music video and recording.
Oh, you
this
shot a
single.
music video.
Yes, it was
oh
so
my
fun.
god.
That's
That
what
was
we were-
all those women in that.
Yes,
Oh, that's gonna be
there's
good.
10 of us, and two of my friends wrote a song called "Glow," and they just decided to put together this whole project, and all of it was female. Like all of them were females. Like all of the artists, the producers, the videographers, everything they wanted
Wow.
to be
Yeah, that's
women.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And when she asked me,
We
I
run the
was-
world.
No hesitation. I was like, hell yes, I'd be a part of this. Like, I'm so honored. There's so many amazing artists that I got to stand aside with, like, and do this, and we're all good, well, friends
Close
now,
friends, yeah.
and we want to write together, and it's just been such a great thing. And it's coming out on the 31st.
On the 31st.
Yeah.
So this segment
Yeah.
will air after that, but you can check it out. It'll already be aired.
Yes.
And we'll link all their Instagrams and stuff in the video
Yeah.
so you guys can follow. That's cool. How was it like working with an all-girl team? I imagine that's empowering because you're just like, it's all women. We're all
It
doing
was
this.
so fun. It was one of the most fun experiences I've honestly had. And every single one of them had no ego.
No
No
ego.
ego
And
at
that is,
all.
isn't that
Right.
beautiful working
Yeah.
with people?
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like it's important for us females to work with each other because you naturally have a competitive side with other females, and I feel like that's been bred into us through society for women
Yes.
to compete. So constantly being women working together, me and Jenna have seen it. You're tearing down your ego as you're working together,
Mm-hmm.
and you're checking yourself because and I think it truly takes working with women to do that.
It
Because
really
men
does.
won't do that. Men will let us walk all over them, as we know because you've been quiet most of the interview.
Which, by the way, I do have something that I want
No,
him and I to kind of talk
hey,
about.
Yeah, go ahead
You're
and
the
talk about
star
it.
of the show.
We
Oh,
have
I
a
know,
little
I
bit of
know.
time left, so go ahead and talk about it so we can get
But
it.
so, because I mentioned this too, we actually have a production company now that we started. And
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Say, okay, yeah. Tell me
And so
about
we
that.
have our studio at the house, and we call it the Garage Hole Opry. 'Cause it's in our garage.
I love that.
So we do like live streams out of it, but he also does a lot of videography for artists. We do merchandise. So basically, we
my
want to be a one-stop
gosh.
shop.
I'm gonna have to come
for
check
these
that
artists.
out.
Oh, I would love for
You
both
guys
of
live
y'all are more than
together?
welcome.
Yeah.
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 So, and then the production company is Honey Island.
Media group.
Honey Island Media.
And you
Group.
guys started this together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mainly him. I just kind of overlook things and
And look pretty and sing and bring in the
I
crowds.
help when he needs me.
So what's your background in music? How'd you start playing guitar and whatnot? Like, do you play anything else? Do you sing?
Yeah, I sing as well.
sing?
So that's what her and I did downtown together. We both fronted the band together.
Yeah,
And,
we got to be in a band together, so it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys ever play at Margaritaville?
No, we played.
No, we played at Kid Rocks all the time.
Oh my god, I bet I've seen you there
You
so many times
probably
because
have.
I was bartending.
That was our main stage. Was the main
the
stage
glow in the
there.
dark costumes. I still have all those pants.
Yeah.
Such a good.
You've definitely seen it, which is so funny because
and people don't understand
you
how
knew me
hard that
before you
is.
knew
They
me.
have you guys coming at like 10 a.m. I would come in on like Saturdays,
Yeah.
it'd be 10 a.m. and the band's playing. I'm like,
Oh,
and
thankfully,
you're paying
we
these
had the-
people $12 an hour? Are you freaking kidding me? Like at 10 a.m. in
we
the
had
morning
the night
to
shift,
perform.
thankfully. So
For-
we
oh,
didn't
so you
have
had
to.
you had the good one.
Well,
Yeah.
well, it was good
Were
for
you on
money,
the first
but-
floor? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were on the first
So you
floor,
were on
10
the
to
like,
close on the weekends.
oh my god! So I definitely saw you. I probably was like with my little
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beer cart things that they serve
Oh,
beer and stuff.
yeah.
I would do those a
Yeah.
lot.
But
Yeah.
man, those were getting late. Like that was too much.
People give you so much
Yeah.
money. There was one dude that came there one time, and people were playing, and he comes around with hundreds, drunk as all get out, and he like is handing out hundreds. And eventually, I go up to his friend. I was like, "Your friend has given me $400. Not that I'm not thankful, but you should
Yeah.
really probably cut him off." Because I started feeling bad.
You're
I was
being
like,
like a good
I'm like,
person,
he's
yeah.
gonna wake up in the morning and be like, because he's just
Oh.
going around. He's like, yeah, and he came back. I was like, you've already given me $4, and I literally stopped him. I was like, sir, I can't take any more of your money. Like I physically. And he was like, his friend was thankful. He was like, oh my god, dude, how much money did he give you? And he was like, he keeps doing this, and I was just like, people on Broadway are so funny.
We've talked about that as a band a few times, saying that after we like make a ton of money off of like a couple drunk guys there just like throwing money, we're sitting there counting and we think, I wonder how these people feel the next morning,
the
every
morning.
time. Like, are they always just like crushed?
They're
like,
probably
that
crying.
Or are they
Oh.
just so? I feel like some are
or
so
they-
rich though. They're
yeah,
just like.
or are they that rich where
Right.
it just is totally irrelevant?
Just
That's what I
assume
want to
they
know.
are. That's the answer.
Assume they are, and
Smile and
like,
say thank
Yeah.
you.
and I know you
Yeah.
guys believe in karma, like we do
Oh,
and stuff. And so,
100%,
like
yeah.
after a while, you have to shut it off because you're like, even though
Yeah.
no one knows, I have to do this for me
Right.
because I
Right,
can't
yeah,
continue taking
Yeah,
this money.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when someone gives you an over-gestured gift, you have to be like, I'm sorry, but I can't take this.
I'm always like, are you sure?
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
ask
like-
multiple
Yeah.
times. I'm like, are you sure?
Because you're
And
gonna
they're like,
regret
yeah,
this.
take it.
I mean, I'll take it.
All
If
right.
you don't want to take it, I'll take it.
I ask multiple times. If they're still insistent,
Yeah, exactly. If
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
it makes you
Yeah.
happy, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a gift. It's a gift
God.
that they're trying to give you. It would be rude to turn
To
it
not
down
take
because
it.
they're
Buy a
trying to share
Exactly.
it with you.
They probably have a lot of money too. If you're going on Broadway with hundreds, you have got.
You're ready to.
You have
Yeah.
got
Dish it out.
money because I would go.
Right.
I'll go on Broadway with maybe $50, and then I get
Right,
mad.
that's
I'm like,
me.
I'm not paying $10 for a drink.
Yeah.
You're like, I can afford it, but I'm not doing it.
But I won't.
So we only have a few more minutes left. We're about to wind down and let you guys do performance. You're gonna do 1 to 2 songs,
Yeah.
right? Are you playing your new song?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play my mom's song that I wrote for her, and I think I showed you that.
You might have. I don't
and then
know.
I think I showed you. I don't remember the other one I showed you, but I'm doing a slow and a fast one.
And when can we expect this release to come out?
So I'm hoping that this first one that I'm gonna be playing for y'all, I'm hoping it's gonna be out the end of April.
The end of April.
Yeah, I don't have a set date yet, but I'm hoping that the end of April if everything goes.
And are you
right.
going to be working on a whole album, or are you just expecting to release
I think
singles?
I'm just gonna release singles. I
Release
have
singles
so
now.
many recorded and ready to go though.
So you're kind of sitting on them.
yes, just
Yeah.
sitting on a bunch and just lining them up. I just want to have all of the promotional stuff done and ready to go so that it's just all lined up and I don't
So
need
it's
to
just
stress
bam, bam,
about it.
yeah.
It's important. Sit on the content for a while. I don't get obsessed with pumping out content.
That's what I'm like. I just want to do it right. I
Mm-hmm.
want everything to be, organized and together, and things just make sense. I don't want to rush on things. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, without any further ado, we're going to get up and let them do what they do best. Miss Sarah's great, and I'm so excited. This is going to be the first time I'm going to see her perform. This felt like a really fun interview. Like, I
This
don't
was
even feel like it was an
awesome.
interview. We got to play a little bit of celebrity, which was cool. Yeah, so without further ado, this is Sara Spicer and her guitar player /
Yay.
boyfriend.
Thank you all so much. Hi, I'm Sara Spicer, and this is going to be my next single. I wrote this one for my mom, who passed when I was younger, and it's called Proud. Daddy says that I look like you. I've got your smile, I've got your eyes and your personality too. I remember when you taught me how to swim, to keep me afloat when I'm rocking the boat and I just can't see the end. I want you to know that you'll always be there on my mind. And I wish I could hold your hand, say I love you one more time. Yeah, I miss singing with you, acting like there was no one around. And I can't help but wonder what you'd think about me now. But I hope that you're proud. Ooh, I hope that you're proud. Oh, Daddy said time would heal my pain. I just needed to cry, and I cried all the time till there was no more left. Ooh, but I followed the light. The Lord went and led the way. Now I know what I went through back then made me who I am today. I want you to know that you'll always be there on my mind. And I wish I could hold your hand, say I love you one more time. Yeah, I miss singing with you, acting like there was no one around. And I can't help but wonder what you think about me now. But I hope that you're proud. Ooh, I hope that you're proud. Oh, Daddy says that I look like you, and I know one day I'll see my baby's face and she'll look just like you too. So this next song, we're gonna bump it up a little bit on the energy. This one is called Knock Knock. This will be one of my next single releases. Tell me that you love me, but I feel there's no one home. Laying here beside you, but I'm feeling so alone. You walk around like you don't think I know what's going on, but that perfume that ain't mine and that guilt is just too strong. Taking your phone to the bathroom, it'll work again, but you'll be home soon. I know that's a lie. You hurt me a few times before, baby, that ain't me no more. Trust in me this time, but I know that you won't stick to a word you say. And I know your heart's too cold to ever wanna change your ways. And I'm really done with it and tired of your shit. Won't fall for it anymore. And once you realize you ain't my guy and I'm really moving on, don't come knocking at my door. Ooh. Here we go again, your second chances have run out. Begging to be with me, but you'll have to live without me. Made your bed, so just sleep in it. Maybe that's too nice, cause I bought it, so I took it, and I didn't even think twice. Cause I know that you won't stick to a word you say. And I know your heart's too cold to ever wanna change your ways. And I'm really done with it and tired of your shit. Won't fall for it anymore. And once you realize you ain't my guy and I'm really moving on, don't come knocking at my door. Taking your phone to the bathroom. Let it work again, but you'll be home soon. Tell me that you love, but I'm feeling so alone. Yeah. Stick to what words you say. And I know your heart's too cold to ever wanna change your ways. And I'm really done with it and tired of your shit. Won't fall for it anymore. And once you realize you ain't my guy and I'm really moving on, don't come knocking at my door. Ooh. So don't come knocking at my door. Hey. So don't come knocking at my door.